Um, I literally only woke up 2 minutes ago. I had a dream where my niece, my niece that just passed away. I'm not going to go into it because that's not the point of this video. But when I woke up, I knew immediately. Basically, I had a dream about my niece that ended with me looking at video of playing back videos of baby birds in a bird's nest, and they were like baby blue jays. And whenever I dream about not blue jays, sorry, bluebirds. They were baby bluebirds. And I was looking back at video of baby, like there was just like dozens of them in nests. And for me, whenever I dream about, well, recently, bluebirds, I always think of Twitter. Because remember the original Twitter used to have the bluebird. Oh, excuse me. So I had to go to the toilet. And when I came back, I checked my Twitter. And sorry, I woke up. I checked my Twitter because I had to go to the toilet. Sorry, because I'm sitting here with my eyes closed. That's how still asleep I am. And there's a link I've put in the description box below. I told you Keir Starmer was a groomer. This is why the whole grooming gang thing. I was right about the whole mofo thing. Keir Starmer, Jeffrey Epstein, Israel have got video footage of Keir Starmer and Ed Miliband, and they mention a couple of other people as well, but I can't remember, on video abusing girls and trans kids. And they were when they were young World Economic Forum leaders. He was being groomed to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain, and he is on video. This information says that he is on video, and it was Kevin Spacey who recorded the video of Keir Starmer and Miliband abusing girls and trans kids, and that they were being prepped to groom children. So that Bella One thing, they were taking children. When he gave that £1 billion to DP World, he was paying for them to traffic children. I was right about everything. When I said that the Labour Party were grooming kids, they're grooming kids. When I said that they've been shipping kids, they've been shipping kids. When I said that they kidnapped kids, when they took those kids off the Bella One, I was right. Keir Starmer has been grooming kids. The Labour Party have been grooming kids since he was a young World Economic Forum leader, and blaming it on Pakistani grooming gangs. This is why there's been no grooming gang inquiry, because he's a groomer. This is why he's done nothing about it. I was right about everything, and then they're trying to turn around and say that it's the British royal family that are doing it. I was right about everything. Ed Miliband is on the video abusing children. They said specifically girls and trans children. I was right about everything about that beast. He's a beast. Yvette Cooper's on the list, and her husband Ed Balls is on the list, and Tony Blair's on the list. It was from when he was a young World Economic Forum leader, when they were grooming him to become the next Prime Minister. Keir Starmer's a child abuser. He's a pedophile. I was right about everything. This is why the Labour government haven't done anything. This is why Ed Miliband is pushing the net zero. I told the King, I said from day one, I was right about everything that I said about the Labour Party. This is why he's been trying to come for me, because he knew I was telling the truth. So yeah, Kevin Spacey, this is back in the day. Remember there's that video footage of Ghislaine Maxwell and Kevin Spacey and that sitting on the thrones at the, is it Buckingham Palace? Must be going back to then. Because Kevin Spacey apparently is the one that records him and Ed Miliband abusing the children. This is why Labour have been punishing Great Britain, because they've been threatened by Israel. If you don't do what we say, we're releasing the tapes, which would expose Keir Starmer for being Keir Starmer. So I was right about everything. And now what they're trying to do is pin it all on the royal family. Remember I did the video where I said they're trying to say that the royal family are the head of the World Pedophile Organisation, and that it's the royal family that are blackmailing the Americans and the Zionists? No. This is why he kisses the ass of Israel. This is why they're all kissing the ass of Israel, because Israel's got tapes on them. And it specifically said girls and trans kids. So, like the hormone blockers that they're going to do, it's because he's one of them. Apparently, I mean, doesn't it appear that with the Epstein thing, you got to do a lot of the gay sex? They're either secretly gay for pay. I was right about everything that I said about Keir Starmer and Labour and what they're getting up to and how they're blaming it on Muslims. Muslims have been beaten up. He's caused wars between Muslims and Christians and Jews and Muslims, and to cover up the fact that they're on the Epstein list. And not only are they on the Epstein list, which we already knew, they're on video abusing children and trans kids, women, girls and trans kids. So now you know. So then Donald Trump and Keir Starmer taking the kids from the Bella One would have been to abuse them. Like, I was right about everything. And this video is just a voice recording of someone saying they've got videos on Keir Starmer and Ed Miliband. And they're trying to blame it on the king. They're trying to blame it on the royal family. Blame everyone but themselves, eh? So this is why he's been coming after me. This is why he tried to have me killed. And his Secret Service and his government are protecting him. His military are protecting him. Now it makes sense. The ones where Ardern and Trudeau and Keir Starmer and that are rounded up on those military trucks, and Ardern and Trudeau have they get their jaws ripped out. It's all to do with Epstein Island and the dentist chair and the shipping containers found by the Dutch authorities and the dentist chair. It's all to do with bloody Jeffrey Epstein. So they were gearing up, the World Economic Forum were gearing him up to be Prime Minister, which means the last election, he was going to be Prime Minister whether people voted for him or not, because it was part of the grand plan. It's everything I bloody well said. Part of the grand plan was to make him Prime Minister so that he could implement the last chess piece moves, to then bring Trump in and Israel in and everybody else in so they could take over Great Britain, break up the monarchy so that they could break up the Commonwealth and make them all part of the one world order, with the help of people like Trudeau and Carney and Albanese and Ardern. They've all been conspiring, and every single one of them I've been able to prove, including von der Leyen and Klaus Schwab, and that are all on the Epstein list, as well as Yvette Cooper and her husband Ed Balls. I was right, and this is why they've been coming after me, because he knew that if the king listened, if people listened, that was it. He'd be lynched. Well, it's coming now. I mean, I've been saying he was on the list. I've been saying that he was one of them, and I've been saying that he's, you know, part of the grooming gang and he supplies kids and victims and stuff like that. But I didn't know that he was on video doing things with trans kids and girls with Ed Miliband. And that's what they've got over him. That's what they've been holding over him. This is why when shit hits the fan, his wife divorces him. Remember I said, if you've been following me on X and that, remember I've been saying that people were going to be so ashamed of him and his Labour Party members and all of that, that they would distance themselves. Their partners would leave them. They'd like their kids and that would change their names to avoid being known by association. Family members would change their names. Nobody would want to have anything to do with them, and their wives and that would divorce them because of the shame that it was going to bring. Well, here we go. And he was trying to push, Keir Starmer was trying to push for his missus, because she owns a digital ID company. So it's one of the reasons why he wants to force the whole digital ID thing, because him and his wife will be making money out of it, because she owns a company, as does Tony Blair, who is also on the list. So yeah, Kevin Spacey was the one, because apparently it's all on video. Kevin Spacey was the one that recorded them doing it. And then they tried to blame it on the king and say that it was by order of the king, because by order of the royal family, because the royal family were blackmailing them to do it. Charming, eh? So I was right about everything. Keir Starmer, Ed Miliband, Yvette Cooper, Ed Balls, Tony Blair, all the Labour Party are groomers. They're child groomers. And then what they did on the Bella one, they took those 170 children. What did they do with them? It just makes my blood run cold. So this is why he sent me the poison apple. This is why he tried to kill me. This is why he's been threatening to deport me and have me arrested. This is why he's been coming after me, because he knew I was right about everything, and it's only a matter of time before everything I said got out. Trying to shut my phone down. So, yeah, he was a chess piece to be put in place so that Donald Trump could help destabilise the United Kingdom and abolish the monarchy so that they could have the Commonwealth for themselves. Turn everything into pedophile island. The link's in the description box of the person disguising their voice electronically to talk about this video that Kevin Spacey recorded. And people like Elon Musk and the EU and Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Meta and Facebook, and that are helping them cover it up. Flagging us as false news, flagging us as misinformation, bringing in fact checkers to try and shut us up because they're the coalition of Epsteiners. Von der Leyen and Zelensky and that have every reason to threaten people like me because they're all in on it. I was right about everything. And Prince William is a member of the World Economic Forum, because they bring the royals in so that they can then blackmail them, so that then their names are tarnished with the rest of them. The stuff that I've endured, I tried to reach out to Keir Starmer when I was locked up. I tried to reach out to Rishi Sunak, Jess Phillips, and I got completely ignored after I got out and everything. Because he was running for elections, and I got completely ignored. But now we know why. They were going to have zero interest. Jess Phillips, everyone that voted to cover up the grooming gangs, the grooming gang investigations. Now you know why. Because most of them are on video abusing children. And look at that list of all the Labour Party members that have been done for abusing children. I was right. And they tried to kill me for it. But it was worth it. Because now we got them by the short and curlies. I told you I was coming for you, Starmer. I told you. Christmas Eve, I said. And what did I say to everyone? That in the coming days, weeks, months, stuff was going to come out that was going to make people clutch their pearls. So now you know, Great Britain, why him and Miliband have been pummeling, and the Labour government have been pummeling Great Britain, because they're slaves to Israel, because Israel's got footage of them abusing girls and trans kids and making the taxpayer pay for it. So they're screwed. There is no coming back from this. When the British people find out, when the English find out, when Muslims find out, when Jewish people find out that they've been used to cover up the perversities of our sitting government, London is going to burn to the ground. And who's been helping them protect them and helping them blame Muslims and stuff? Sadiq Khan. They've all been covering each other's backs to make sure none of it gets out, gathering in a tight circle like sheep do. Except they're wolves in sheep's clothing. The Fabian Society. So I was right about everything. Links in the description box below. This needs to go viral. This needs to get passed around. We need to get that man and his government out of office. The king needs to dissolve Parliament immediately, because it has been run by a nest of vampiric vampires. Where are those children? Where are those 170 children? What happened to those kids on the Bella One? What have they done to them? Pure evil. And then to turn it around and pin it on the king. I've even got video footage of him, which I sent to the king, of him saying that he wanted to abolish the monarchy. And the Mirror and all of that, when Tony Blair got in, saying, now, like, great job, Blair, now let's abolish the monarchy. Their plan has been to abolish the monarchy since Tony Blair came in as Prime Minister. It's everything I said. I haven't been wrong about a single thing. So now you know, Great Britain, why they refused to do a grooming gang inquiry, because it was all going to come back on them. So they are perfectly happy to let the world and Great Britain and the English blame Pakistani Muslim gangs, because they were taking the fall for them being the actual groomers. So now we've got to do something about it. I was right. I was right about everything. So many birds in that nest, chirping and tweeting, and I was playing the footage back. I was watching it on video, which means a message from God, and amongst a lot of other messages from God, a message from God in amongst other messengers. I'm still asleep, still half asleep, which is Twitter, and they were little baby bluebirds. So it was like finding the important tweet in amongst the chatter. And I woke up and I knew immediately, check X. I'm scrolling through and there it was. So now I just keep thinking of that eye of the tiger dream. You see, that's the other thing, eye of the tiger. See that red eye that Macron has? Apparently he calls that the eye of the tiger. I couldn't believe it. So that eye of the tiger dream, and remember I was talking about the Bella one, it's all connected. And France and Germany and Iceland and Denmark and that helped Donald Trump and Keir Starmer pull that shit off, which means Iceland and Norway and France and Germany and Denmark and that were all involved. They're all helping them cover up the grooming gangs. And when I did the investigation afterwards, I found out that Iceland and Iceland and Norway have a really, really big grooming gang pedophile issue with kids being trafficked, to the point where Norway had to put out like a public video thing on how it's not good to traffic victims. So they're all covering each other's asses. I was right about everything. So just remember that, people. Iceland, Norway, Denmark, France, Germany were helping that crap they pulled off with the Bella one in Venezuela. They were helping Donald Trump and Keir Starmer cover up the grooming of children and the kidnapping of children. They're all in on it. So this thing in Greenland, what's that about? Is it really about protecting Greenland, or is there something bigger going on there? Because they hide a lot of stuff in the Arctic. They can say it's about resources all they like, but we all know about those underground bases. My dad did. My dad went to the Arctic with the army. So, yep, I was right about everything. And now, Great Britain, we got to get that man and his government out of office. Ed Miliband is one of them. I think I knew he was on the list. I can't remember. I think I knew he was on the list when I did my investigation, and I found von der Leyen on the Epstein list, and Klaus Schwab, all the World Economic Forums. And remember when I was reading the passage out about the Bible today, I was talking about the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization. God saying specifically he's taking them down. And then did you hear about there's the outbreak of TB here? And the first thing I thought was the bowl of plagues. And God remember the first angel poured out the bowl and they got sores on the skin and, people were sick. And I said it's talking about the World Health Organization and their plagues, TB. I wonder if they came from illegals. Anyway, so now we've got to do something. All these cops that have been out on the street beating people up, they've been covering up for a pedophile government. All the military that have been going in to cause shit with Russia and Ukraine, covering up for a pedophile government. Disgusting. To overthrow their own king. A silent coup on the royal family, and he's been getting the help of the Secret Service, MI5, MI6, the British military and the British police force, to cover up the fact that Israel have got video of him and Ed Miliband, and I can't remember the other people that they named, but the link's in the description box, abusing girls and trans kids. and that they are part of the World Economic Forum grooming gang. But blame the Muslims. It's everything I've been saying from day one. It's everything the Queen's been helping me expose since day one, and Princess Diana since day one. This is why they wanted war with Russia. I was right about everything because Russia's trying to stop them, just like they did with the Bella one. They've been quietly trying to rescue the children and getting blamed for it because that's what narcissists and that do. They blame you for the crimes they're guilty of. So if anyone connected to the King is watching, he'd better click on that link. He better dissolve his parliament because more and more and more and more stuff's coming out that is going to make his family look bad because Kevin Spacey and Ghislaine Matthews, oh God, it's because I'm still half asleep, Maxwell, that famous photo of them sitting on the thrones would have been around the time, because it said a young Keir Starmer, when he was a World Economic Forum youth leader. So it was when they were training him to come up in politics. So that election that got him in, he was going to become Prime Minister if no person in Great Britain voted, he was going to miraculously be Prime Minister. I told you he never took the oath of office. He's not legally registered as having taken the oath of office. Somebody looked up the Freedom of Information Act, and he is not registered in the law books or in any government registry as having taken the oath of office. I'll put the link up again, but I've shown it 1,000 times. Mind you, it's not your fault, it's because I'm so heavily shadow banned. But yeah, they positioned him to be Prime Minister to pull off all the shit that they've been planning to do for a long time, bearing in mind Donald Trump's been working on Greenland since he was president the first time. So all of this has been planned for a long time. And because Keir Starmer was groomed by Jimmy Savile. Jimmy Savile took Keir Starmer to meet Epstein. Keir Starmer met Epstein through Jimmy Savile. So, if the King doesn't wake up quick, I keep warning him he's going to go down with the ship because they made sure that they got the royal family involved in all of it so that it would look bad for them, that they wouldn't be able to defend themselves when it came time to start pulling out the abolish the monarchy thing. Make them look bad. And because Prince William is a member of the World Economic Forum and has been since he was young. Same with Ivanka Trump. She's been a member since she was young as well. The future leaders of the World Economic Forum, Jacinda Ardern was one of them, Nayib Bukele is one of them, even Vladimir Putin was one of them, but he turned his back. So then they came after him because he saw what they were up to. So I was right about everything. Now this needs to go viral. We need to get that video out and we need to start gathering in numbers, going down to London and demanding that the Labour government are kicked out of office and that the King dissolves Parliament. So now it makes sense. It all makes sense. Why they're not doing the grooming gang inquiries. Why Ed Miliband is pummeling people to steal their money and all of that. Why they've been trying to enforce things like digital ID and that. It's because they've been told if they don't play the game, people are going to start dropping the videos on them. And he's abusing trans kids. So the 3 gay Ukrainian models and all of that. I want to know if those models are connected to any of Trump's modelling agencies. So now you know he's secretly bi and into trans kids. So the whole puberty blocker thing, where they're bringing it in whether people protested or not, is because he's secretly attracted to trans kids. If he came near my son, I'd go to prison. I don't know what my son is at the moment. I haven't spoken to him in 6 months because they didn't believe anything that I said. And now I was right about everything. I said to my son, when the truth comes out and you see what I've been up against, when you see what I've been fighting, I was right about everything. So there you go. So now we've got to do something. Great Britain, we've got to take back England from a nest of pedophiles running the country and their military and secret service and police force who are helping them cover up the crimes. The Bella One. They stole 170 children off the Bella One. So the link's in the description box. I'll also put up the oath of office thing. He's not legally Prime Minister. I've been trying to say that for the longest time. He took the oath in Parliament. You see him hold up his hand and everything. There's a video of it. But it's not legally documented. It was all an act. He was going to be Prime Minister whether a single person voted for him or not, because it was all part of the plan. It was all part of the World Economic Forum plan to play the chess game. And now, who's going out to Davos? Nigel Farage and Donald Trump, because they're all in on it. Nigel Farage is one of them. He's as cunning as a shithouse rat, that one. So don't vote for reform. Don't vote for reform, because they're all in on it. You need to vote for people that are normal, average, everyday people that created political parties from scratch. Never again can a Conservative or Labour or a Reform leader have any control over the British government or Parliament, because they're all in on it. Nigel Farage did that whole thing Donald Trump did. We're going to do this and we're going to hold inquiries and we're going to get these people and get that people. And then now, like, he's backtracking and hanging out with the World Economic Forum people, going back on everything that he promised, and he's not even, like, Prime Minister yet, but he's already showing his true colours. Well, what we need to do is we need to demand that we don't have any elections until everybody running is vetted, and then we do not vote for anybody who has any connection to Israel or Epstein. And because remember I said the other day that when Keir Starmer gets arrested, when they get arrested and kicked out, all the laws they brought in will be undone because none of them will be legal. Well, there you go. So Great Britain, the English especially, have been battered and abused and tortured, just like I was, to cover up the fact that they're all groomers. It was all part of the plan. They were going to abuse the people of Great Britain whether they liked it or not. So now you know the Prime Minister of Northern Ireland is one of them. Where are the children off the Bella One, Keir Starmer? What did you do with them? Are they alive? Did you ship them off somewhere after you were done with them? What did you do with them? You filthy little maggot. Oh, I'm going to come for you. I'm going to come for you so hard. God's going to pile drive you so hard, your ass doesn't just come out the other side of the world. We're going to end up battering you all the way to friggin' Jupiter, mate. Get ready, because when this gets out, you can guarantee there's going to be lynch mobs at your door. I told you it was coming. You should have left Russia alone. You disgraceful piece of dirt. What did you do with those children off the Bella One? You threatened me. You called me a liar. You threatened to have me locked up. You tried to have me poisoned to shut me up. You would rather kill an innocent woman and have an innocent woman arrested to shut her up than just admit that you're a dirty, rotten, filthy pedophile who abuses women and trans kids. You and your little pal Miliband, who looks like he's a sandwich short of a picnic anyway. That David Lammy looks like he's missing some genomes. He looks like a Neanderthal, and he's on the list too. Jacinda Ardern, she looks like she's got some inbreeding going on with her massive horse teeth. All in on it. You friggin' murdered my queen. You all got together and decided now was the time to murder our queen so you could get your hands on the king and blame everything on the royal family to cover up the fact that you did dirty things to innocent victims. You need to be stripped of your knighthood. Same with Sadiq Khan. Same with Jacinda Ardern. And I can't wait to see you all at The Hague with your little von der Leyen and all that, having to answer to the ICC for your sins. Every single one of you prime ministers and presidents who are protecting each other, you're done now, because I was right about everything. What a way to end the day. I started with an incredible sermon where God was spelling out every single thing that was coming, every single thing he knew you were up to, and what was going to happen to you once the world knew what you were doing. God spelled it out in that sermon this morning. I knew he woke me up for a reason. He knew what you'd done. He knew what you were going to do 2,000 years ago. 2,000 plus years ago, he knew exactly what you were going to do. And he let you do it. And he said he was going to let you do it. He had to let everybody think they were getting away with it, because he was going to use that very thing to be what tore you all down. So by Donald Trump and Keir Starmer being the morons that they are, doing what they did in Venezuela, they walked right into God's trap. And now you're the ones that are caged. And now you're the ones that are going to be abused by millions and millions and billions of people worldwide. You're not going to be able to escape from this. Same with the leader of Iceland, Norway, Denmark, France, Germany, the Tories. Donald Trump did good doing what he did. Kimmy Badenoch, she's a friend of Israel. So what do they have on her? So there you go. I was right about everything. And the police, the British police force, helped our pedophile government try and kill me and shut me up and have me arrested and threaten to deport me. Me having to sing for my supper, for my pennies every month, by having to prove every month that I'm here legally. While illegals get given carte blanche to do whatever they want, I'm here legally. I gave Great Britain two of the greatest kids on the planet, and I have to prove every month that I'm here legally just to get what I get, which is not half as much as, I'm not saying I'm not grateful, but I don't get half as much as what the illegals do. And I'm here legally, and I could be claiming for more, but I don't, because I'm trying to go easy on the taxpayer. Like, I needed a vacuum cleaner, and I was told I could, like, go to the go and ask for help to get the money to get a vacuum cleaner, but I wanted to do it myself. So I saved. It arrives tomorrow. I'm so proud. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I haven't had a vacuum cleaner for about 7 months. It's been driving me insane, but I couldn't afford it. But yeah, I've been saving up. It's just a little one, but I saved up. Because usually I just have like maybe a couple of quid left in the bank at the end of the month. But I saved up and made sure that I had enough at the end of the month to give my son birthday money and to get myself a vacuum cleaner. Just a small one. So, yeah, sending people to my door, threatening to kill me because I knew exactly what he was doing, and he's trying to cover his ass, which means him going to all those extremes means that more of the right kind of people have been listening to what I've been saying than the wrong people. He would only be coming after me if the right eyes were watching and the right ears were listening that could hold him and his government accountable. I was right about everything. So get ready, Keir Starmer and Labor. Get ready, Labor government. Get ready, Parliament, because shit's about to hit the fan. And when everything dies down, you're not going to be able to recover from this. Nobody will ever vote Labor, Conservatives or Reform after this, ever. Ever. If you're at the World Economic Forum, and I said to the King about Prince William, yeah, I was right about everything. Where are those children from the Bella One? That's what I want to know. Are they still alive? That's what I keep thinking. Are they still alive? They would have been when Russia had them. And then they tried to blame it all on Russia. Can you believe that? It's everything I said. And Zelensky's helping them, obviously. We all know about him and the grooming gangs. And then they tried to blame it all on Russia. The whole reason why Vladimir Putin's got that ICC ban is because Ukraine and other world leaders blamed Russia for kidnapping children when they were trying to get them out of the way when the war was kicking off. And when I looked at the investigation, it was all based on hearsay. There was no actual proof other than them being in possession of the kids, but there was no proof that they were being groomed or anything. They were being repatriated to move them out of the way of the war. You know, like in World War II, how they shipped all the kids off? That's basically what Russia was doing. And then they got accused of being the child traffickers. They got the whole ICC ban on Vladimir Putin is because he got accused of being a child trafficker because he was trying to move kids out of the way so that they didn't get bombed and kidnapped and stolen and abused, raped and abused by people like Keir Starmer and von der Leyen and Donald Trump and Leslie Graham and everybody else baying for blood. Literally, the adrenochrome. With the help of the horns of the beast, Keir Starmer, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all the billionaires, all the oligarchs, all the tech freaks. I don't like using freaks because to be a freak is an honour. They're demons. The devil's horns, the horns of the devil. All helping them cover it up. All on the list. Every single one of them. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, they're all on the list. Bezos. DARPA. His grandfather's responsible for DARPA. So, yeah, them all trying to shut me down for so many years. Me going, when he gave that, and that's what you need to understand. Keir Starmer gave DP World £1 billion and they are connected to child trafficking. And then what does he do with the Bella one? Takes the kids. Because they use shipping containers. If they don't use military planes and military vehicles, they use shipping. So I was right. He gave £1 billion to traffic children to DP World. And then they want to pin it all on the royal family so that they can get away with abolishing the monarchy. They murdered my queen. They murdered our queen to set all of this up. And Donald Trump admitted it in that Q post. Russia were blamed for things they didn't even do. Russia have been the scapegoats. Same with Iran. So I'll be sure to bring this up when I take them all to court for what they've just done, because now I've got to add Keir Starmer and that to the list. Because I've got proof that they tried to kill me. I've got actual physical evidence. I just need to get it to a lab. It's all documented. Hair samples, everything, all documented. Rather shut me up, an innocent woman who's trying to protect the royal family and the people of Great Britain and America and the Commonwealth from a nest of vampiric child abusers, grooming children in an international worldwide pedophile ring, kill me, rather than admit what you've done. Well, you're not going to be able to deny it now, Keir Starmer. I told you we were coming for you. You're not going to be able to talk your way out of this one. Your whole government's going down. No one is going to vote Labour ever again. This is the end of the Labour Party. This is the end of the Conservatives, because the Conservatives were the ones that were in power when the Queen was murdered. You murdered our Queen just so that you could get your hands on children and gold and money. So evil are you. Well, it's over now, so get ready. Bong. Bong, for whom the bell tolls. You, Keir Starmer, get ready, because when this gets out, you're finished. Your whole government are done. You and your little cockeyed Ed Miliband are screwed.